Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Hi everyone.
Yes. So today we are here with our Nightingale Circle is organizing Nano webinar on the topic of different types of job interview. And we have Vasila ma'am, Hasi ma'am, Liji ma'am, Patricia ma'am, and Ramya ma'am, and Lekshmi ma'am here. Welcome everyone.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, we can start our live. First, I would like to welcome our Hasi ma'am for welcome speech. Welcome, Hasi ma'am.
Yo, Hasi ma'am.
Thank you, Vasila ma'am, for inviting me and letting me say the welcome speech. Dear one and all present here, gathered here today, good evening. Good evening, Vasila ma'am, Patricia ma'am, and my batchmates, Lakshmi ma'am, Ramya ma'am, and Liji ma'am. So we are here today for a Nano webinar, and it's been going to be on the topic types of job interviews. And our guest for today, and the person who's going to lead the session is our dearest Lakshmi Sasidharan ma'am. Lakshmi ma'am is my dearest classmate and our classmate and a proud student of Marsala Parveen batch 36. Lakshmi ma'am is a very hardworking and a very knowledgeable person, and I'm really happy that you are going to take the session forward today. And I really wish you all the very best. And I'm sure there is going to be a lot of takeaway from today's session. Not wasting much time of anyone. All the best to everyone and best wishes, Lakshmi ma'am. And thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hasi ma'am.
Welcome.
Yes, next I would like to welcome our Ramya ma'am for the presidential address. Welcome, Ramya ma'am.
Welcome, Ramya ma'am.
Ramya ma'am.
I think she's having some network issue.
Yes, so I'm not wasting the time. I would like to welcome our Lekshmi ma'am. Welcome, Lekshmi ma'am.
Thank you so much, Masla ma'am, and thank you, Hasi ma'am, for that warm welcome. And good evening, everyone who's being watching this live program. A warm welcome to all of you. So today we are going to have a discussion. It's kind of a discussion. I would like to call it as discussion because it is going to be an interactive session between me and you guys. So today we are going to have a discussion on the topic different types of interviews. Ma'am, I can hear some background sound. Is it?
Ma'am, I think you can mute.
No, it's not from. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I muted.
Yes, ma'am. So as we all know, interview is the first step of that big ladder where we are, our dream job. So if we could land there safely, then 90% of our job is done. Then the 10% is our personal skills, how we are going to communicate, how we are going to convey the message to the panel members or to the interviewers. So when we are preparing for the interview, there are certain things that we need to keep in our mind. Like there are certain tips that we have to keep in our mind. And the very first thing is none other than the hard work that we are going to put for that. How much knowledge we are having on that particular topic or that particular field. How much do we know? That is the thing that really matters and that really helps us to crack the interview and to answer the questions that has been raised by the interviewers. So when we are preparing for the interview, it shouldn't be a very vast and in-depth knowledge. For that, there is no shortcut, only hard work. That is the only thing that will help us to get a job. That is the very first step, and do the homework. And the second step is how we are going to apply this knowledge, how we are going to convey the knowledge that we are having in a very simple and easy way and very sharp and precise way. That is where the communication skill comes. So how good you are in your speaking, how good you are in conveying that message, conveying the knowledge that you are having, how you are going to handle the knowledge that you're having. That is the second thing. So these are the main important factors that will help us in improving, in getting the job, and also in helping our intrapersonal skills. So here we will be discussing about different kinds of interviews that we have been practicing across the world. So we will be going through the slides. Masla ma'am, would you please share the slides, ma'am? So
Can you see it, ma'am?
Sorry, ma'am.
Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
So as we all said, an interview, it is a formal meeting between an interviewer and the applicant, where the interviewer will be asking questions. Not only he will be looking at your knowledge level, but also how skillful you are. Your skill set also will be getting analyzed by the interviewer. The way you speak, the way you behave, your body language, everything will get analyzed by the interviewer. So the way you enter the room, from that moment itself, they will be analyzing you, your body language, how you behave, how calm you are, how cool you are. So everything will get analyzed by the interviewer. The next, there are different types of interviews. Next slide, ma'am. Stress, as you're seeing in the slides, stress interviews, group interviews, panel interviews, phone interviews, video conferencing, behavioral interviews, puzzle interviews, informal and lunch interviews, competency-based interviews, case interviews, on-the-spot interviews, the working interviews. So we will be seeing each kind of interviews one by one. So the very first one is the stress interview. This kind of interview, as the name suggests, or the name points, it will definitely check how you are going to deal in a stressful situation. As we all know, in a work atmosphere, in a work environment, we will be dealing with different kind of situations where we have to be very proactive, we have to be calm, otherwise it will definitely affect our job. If some stress situation comes, if we are losing our cool, and if you are getting irritated or if you're getting angry, definitely it will affect the job. So as an entrepreneur, definitely they will be looking for a productive employer. They have to be able, they should be able to tackle the situations, whether it is positive or negative, in the same way. They should have a balanced response. So in this particular interview, they will be asking questions which can trigger your emotions, which can trigger your responses. Sometimes we may get angry, or someday we may get upset. So for this, some tips we need to, some tips to face this kind of stress interview is, we have to have a good research, make a good research. So we should be knowledgeable. That is the basic thing. We have to keep ourselves calm, and we have to balance our responses. Whenever they ask questions, always don't forget to keep a smile on our face. And some questions that you can face in the stress interviews, like, why haven't you achieved more in your career? That is one of the stress interview questions that that we may face during the interviews. And I don't understand how you stand out from the other candidates, and what new can bring to this table. So that is another kind of question that you can face in the stress interview questions. And sometimes they may say, you don't have relevant experiences, and we only need experienced professionals, so why should we hire you? So these are some of the examples of stress interview questions. So we have to be very much prepared for all this. And the way you answer these questions, that should be in a very calm way, by keeping a smile on our face. So the interviewers will understand we are confident enough to tackle the situations in a very positive and calm and easy way. So this is one kind of interview. Ma'am, next slide, ma'am. Next is the group interview. Maslama. This is group interview. So in a group interview, we will be participating in the interview with other candidates as well. There will be more than one candidate. So we will be sitting. That time, actually, it will be easier for the interviewer to see the potential within each individual at the same time itself. It will be easier for them to filter out the candidates in a group interview. And it also will save their time. So that is the benefits of this group interview. And at that time, we should be competent enough to tell the answers, because we are sitting with other candidates, right? So we will be knowing what the other candidate is telling, what the other candidate is capable of in doing something, so we know what others are capable of. So at that time we are not supposed to lose our confidence. At the same time, we can even impress the interviewer by giving proper appreciation to the person who is making a good note, like our Hazi ma'am does in the class. In our classroom, I have noticed that whatever the person, whatever the other person is doing, she is always be ready with this applause. So that will definitely give a positive wave around us. So in a group interview, actually we can make use of that attitude of appreciating others whenever they make an impressive whenever they make an impressive answer, or whenever they come up with an impressive solution. So that is the peculiarity of this group interview. Next slide, ma'am. Next is the panel interview. Here you have to face more than one interviewer. So there will be 3 or 5 interviewers at the same time. They will be asking questions to the candidate. So when you attend this kind of interviews, make sure that you are sitting in the middle of the, there will be more than one chairs, but make sure that you will be sitting in the middle so that you can have a good eye contact with each interviewer. So that is a good body language that we can have whenever we face the panel interview. And again, we have to be ready for the follow-up questions. When one person is asking a question, we will be answering that particular question. But at the same time, a follow-up question, maybe if other interviewer may be ready with a follow-up question. So we have to be very much thorough with the with the field that we are going to deal, because we are going to face questions from different perspectives. Different persons are sitting together and question and asking questions. So we have to be that much capable enough, and we have to take all the potential out to participate in a panel interview. And we have to deal each interviewer equally, and we can even ask questions. And another trick for this panel interview is we can make the session more interactive. Like, rather than asking questions, we can make the session a discussion kind of activity, rather than asking question and giving the answers. So it will make this interview it will make it easier for us to attend this panel interview whenever we rechannel the interview questions into a discussion kind of thing. Next is the phone interview. Sorry, ma'am. Next is behavioral interview. The previous slide, ma'am. No, it's a phone interview. Okay, ma'am. So for phone interview, as we all know, we are in the middle of this pandemic. It is not possible for all the organizations to keep a face-to-face interview, as there are certain restrictions and the rules that we need to follow. So most of the time they will make a call over the phone. And again, we need to follow some etiquettes. We have to be ready and we should be in a place where we get a good range, and so that our talk will not get interrupted because of range issues. And another thing is, we need to make sure that we are not getting interrupted by other family members. And we have to be very much into the this particular activity of attending this interview. We cannot do any kind of other activities, and we are not supposed to eat food or drink water in between this, and even keep a smile and then talk. They can feel that smile even if they cannot see us. Whenever we talk, by keeping a smile on our face, the interviewer can feel it, and that will create an impression in him that the person, the candidate to whom he is talking is confident enough. So that is some of the tips that we can use in the phone interviews. The next slide, ma'am. Video conferencing or remote interview. It is same like this phone interview, but this time we have to be, they will be seeing us. It is a video call and they can see us. So we need to follow, we need to wear a very formal dress and have to be in a place where as I said earlier, the internet is in good coverage, and there shouldn't be any, network glitches that can affect the video call or the quality of the that call. And we can make sure that everything is in perfect mode by making a trial call with someone else or with someone else, so that we can make sure that everything is perfect. And even the webcam and the microphone, everything has to be checked by us, and we need to check our background as well. Sit in a comfortable and proper place, so that the interviewer also is not getting distracted and you are also not getting distracted. And the rules are same like the phone interview. We are not supposed to eat anything or drink anything, and we have to keep a smile on our face, and we are not supposed to scream or something like that. We have to speak in a very moderate way, very calm and humble way, and confident way. So that is what we need to do when we do the video conferencing or video or remote interview, or in the remote interviews. Next slide, ma'am. Behavioral interview. This is this kind of interview that will actually show how skilled you are, or how much intrapersonal intelligence you have, because they will be asking questions which will be situation based, where you have excelled, in some of the, at some point of your life, especially during your previous career and all. So they will be asking questions like, tell me about a goal that you have achieved recently. So a person can achieve a goal only he is having a proper time management, only is having a great focus, only he is having that fire within him, right? And so they will understand your various attributes when they ask these kind of questions, behavioral questions. So that is the main aim of this behavioral interview, rather than how good you are in the work, how good you are as a person, how good you are as a team player, how good you are as as a person who is thriving for success. That is what actually they are looking for in behavioral interview. Again, your problem solving, because everything they will come to know just by sharing your previous experiences. They will come to know how good you are in problem solving, how good you are in your flexibility, adaptability, how good you are as a team player. There is I have encountered a question like, tell me about a project that you have delivered. You have got a very short time span to deliver that particular project, so you have to arrange everyone and you have to deliver it on that deadline itself. So what all things you have done for that? So sometimes we may have to exceed our scheduled work time, right? When we get a work without much expecting, we might not have expected that work to be delivered on this particular time. They might not have informed us earlier, but all of a sudden they are coming and telling us you have to submit this particular project on this particular date. So what all things you have done? You have to be more flexible, adaptable, and you have to work for more time. So are you willing to do all this? Are you working for the really working want your work to be done on time? So all these aspects will be measured by the interviewer during this behavioral interview. And even they may give you an imaginary situation, as you can see in the slide. If it is like this, what you are going to do? Suppose in the school, they want to build an outdoor outdoor game area, but they don't have enough land for that. So what all things that you can do as a teacher in the school? So these kind of imaginary situations they may give to us, and we have to answer those questions in a very positive way, in a confident way. So thereby they can assess the attributes that we are having. So rather than asking this, technical questions and all, just by asking these behavioral questions, they will measure all about us. They will be knowing all about us, what all our attributes are. So that is the significance of behavioral interviews. Next slide, ma'am. Puzzle interview. As we have seen in the behavioral interview, they are looking for your intrapersonal skills. In the puzzle interview, they will be looking for your cognitive skills. Cognitive skill means how good you are in reasoning, how good you are in problem solving. So that kind of aspects, or that aspects of your intelligence will be analyzed by the interviewer during the puzzle interviews. So for this, there are certain tips. And the first tip is practice. The second tip is practice. And the third tip is also practice. Practice, practice, and practice. That is the only way that we can make use of to develop our problem solving skill, our intellectual skill, our critical thinking, and all of a sudden, if somebody comes and telling us to solve a big puzzle problem, definitely we are not going to do that. For that, you need to do a good job, a great homework, really a hard work you have to make. Then only we can develop this intelligence aspect of critical thinking and problem solving skills. So for that, if you are looking for a job that really needs this reasoning and critical thinking, the thing you have to do is lot many questions are available in the internet that you can look for that. These puzzle questions, you can try solving those questions. We can even look at the answers, whether you are doing it in the right way, but that is not a problem, because slowly we will develop that intelligence aspect of ours. So that is what we need to take care of before we go for the puzzle interviews. They may ask, sometimes they may mix all kind of questions, behavioral questions, puzzle questions, everything will be mixed up together. So we have to be very much prepared before we go for an interview. Next slide, ma'am. Informal and lunch interview. Here they will be looking at your interpersonal intelligence, how you are going to behave in a society. Okay, because it will not be happening, this kind of interview will not be happening in a closed room or in an organization. It might be happening in a cafeteria. We might be having coffee with the interviewer and they will be asking questions. We might be having a lunch with the interviewer, and at the same time that interview process is going on. So that time, what all things that we need to take care of? Again, we have to be we have to wear a very formal dress. The way we sit on the chair, the way we eat, and when the other person is talking, we are not supposed to interrupt in between, and we are not supposed to talk when we are eating. We have to be a very good listener. It is giving the interviewer a chance to analyze your interpersonal skills, your intrapersonal skills. Everything will get analyzed whenever we go for this informal interviews. So we have to be on time and good table manners that has to be followed, and we have to be very humble towards the person who are serving us. There might be people who will be taking our plates and our glasses, and we have to be very humble towards them. That attitude of yours, that will create a very positive wave around you. And you have to wash your hands after you eat, after you have your food. That some people are having the habit of taking a tissue and wiping the hands and keeping it on the table. Again, we are giving our task of cleaning to someone else, like the other person is coming and taking our plates, right? So that is not a good manners. Again, that will not create a good impression on the interviewer. So we have to be very careful. We have to keep in our mind that it is not any of our family members who is sitting near to us. It is the interviewer, and we are attending an interview. The only thing is, it is not within the four walls of a room. So that is what we need to take care of. And whenever this person who is serving the food, say thank you to that person. Thank you to someone who is giving you food. So that also will create a positive impression on the interviewer, that you are showing, gratitude, and you're showing some respect to the person from whom you are getting a help. So these all will create, a good chance of you to get a job whenever you go for the informal and lunch interviews. That's it, ma'am. Next slide, ma'am. Competency based interview. Here it is, you have to be very much focused. It is systematic. And suppose you are going for a teaching job. This competency based interview questions means the skill that you need for that particular job. That is what they are looking for. That is competency based interviews. They designed to test one or more skills or competencies, and it is more systematic, and its questions targets a skill needed for the job. For example, as teachers, we have to have a good quality of dealing with children. So they might be asking questions like, can you please write a rhyme for the rhyme for me, or can you please sing that rhyme for me, or can you please tell a story? So this will help the interviewer to understand how capable we are, how skilled we are in doing all this. Because kids love a very dynamic, active teacher, right? Suppose if we are just sitting and singing like twinkle twinkle little star, they will not be impressed. They will not get that good impression on us. At the same time, if you do twinkle twinkle little star, if you add rhythm to it, what all skills a teacher needs, and if you add that to the to our answers, and if we show that actions, and if we show that enthusiasm, that is the main point. You should have that enthusiasm for that to do, right? When you have that enthusiasm, we don't feel shy. So that is it. So that is what we need in the competency based interview. We have to be very much skilled for that particular kind of job. If it is for an IT job, they will be definitely asking to solve a particular scenario, like writing a code and all. So that is the skill you need there. There you need good concentration, cognitive, your cognitive skills, your intellectual aspects, everything that you have to take out to solve that particular problem. So at that time, don't jump into the conclusions. You just think about the solution, right? Whatever questions that is coming to you, especially for the competency based interviews, you can think for a while and then give the correct answer, proper answer. And if we have some doubts, it's okay to ask back, ask questions back. We can make our clarifications rather than giving them wrong answers. So get the questions, be very get it clarified, and then give the proper answer. So that will help in getting these kind of jobs, or to crack the job, interview. So that is the competency based interview. They will check for your teamwork, working under pressure, customer service, problem solving, again having a good leadership quality. That also will be analyzed during this competency based interviews. And next slide, ma'am. Case interview. Here they will be giving you a particular scenario, and they will be asking you how you are going to solve this. My personal experiences, when I was working in an IT firm, what they do is they will be giving us a scenario like this many data you have, and you don't want duplicate data. And how you are going to do this? You want only unique data to get uploaded in the target table. This is what I have experienced. This is a particular case or a particular scenario where you have to get a solution for that particular problem. So that is the case interview. They will be giving you scenarios, and for that particular scenario, how you are going to coming up with the solution. So this is usually for management consulting jobs, to evaluate the candidate's analytical ability and problem solving skill. So this is case interview, ma'am. Next slide, ma'am. On the spot interview or walk-in interviews, that you can see these advertisements in the newspapers, like here today we are going to have an interview or walk-in interview for this particular positions. So that times actually we need not apply the CVs and in prior to the interviews. We can just carry our CV and we just simply you can walk in. The person who a potential employer, who they will be sitting there, they will be asking you a lot many questions. Again, all these questions they will ask, like which will check your problem solving skill, your intellectual skills, your what are your your behavioral questions again will be there. And they will ask for your strength and your weakness, how you're going to handle the stressful situations. Then a self-intro part, that also will be there. Next is the working interview. It is more or similar to that of the competency interview, whether we are skilled for that particular title or for that particular job. Are we skilled for that? That is what they are going to test in the working interview. um, how much we are able enough to do that particular. For that, I think we need some experience in that particular job. Otherwise it will be hard for us to, if you are a fresher or if you are not experienced, it will not be easier for us to answer these kind of questions, because most of the scenarios when we work in a project, then only we are getting a lot of information, then only that will help us to enhance the knowledge in a better way. So all of a sudden, if you go for a working interview and they are expecting answers which that will help them to evaluate whether we are able to do that particular task. So otherwise, what we can do is we can get some tips from the employees who are already working there, to how the nature of the work, what are things that we are supposed to, what are the tools that we are going to use in that particular for that particular title. Otherwise, we can do some research and then get prepared for that, get and gather a lot of information regarding that particular title. What are the responsibilities, what are the tasks that we are supposed, what is the nature of the job. So everything that we can make a good research even before going for this working interview. And always show a great enthusiasm and passion for that particular. It is not only for this kind of this interviews, it is same for all interviews. We have to show our passion, we have to show our enthusiasm that this is my dream job. That dream, that fire, that should be there in your eyes. The interviewer can see that. I have an experience to share with you guys. Like, one of my relatives, she wants she wants to get a better job, she wants to get a promotion, and then an opportunity came. What she does, it is an internal vacancy, she's already working there in the company. And what she does is, even before the interview, she just calls the manager in that particular department and asked him, sir, I'm interested in this particular job, so I would like to learn more about it. That created a positive impression on the, in him. That means, that shows that enthusiasm of that particular person to work in that particular area. So this is how we can show our enthusiasm and passion. So this is one, these are some of the tips that we can make use of whenever we start working, when we need promotion, when we want to go to the higher levels and all. That is all about this working interview. Next slide, ma'am. Other kinds of interviews, mock interviews that we can, next slide, ma'am, next slide. That is this mock interview that we can see for the to train the people, or at school or the colleges, especially at the colleges or the training centers. We can see this mock interviews. They are not real interviews. That will make the candidate, give the candidate an opportunity to prepare himself. Even we can practice this at home with our family members, right? We can sit with our family members and do a mock interview. If you are not getting a chance outside, this will help us in improving the self-confidence. Whenever we go for a real interview, the same questions may come, like introduce yourself, and what are your strengths and what are your weakness, and what do you expect in this from this particular organization? What do you expect as your salary? And these kind of questions, if we practice before we go for the real interview, it will helps in improving your confidence, helps in improving your chance to get that job also. And here it helps the applicant to understand what is expected in the real job interview, and most of the time it will be videotaped, so that he can again look that video and see in which all areas he needs to work on. Or how about his body language? Is he lacking anything? Is he forgetting to keep a smile on his face? So he can make a self-assessment, and he can do something that will help him in coming up as a more better candidate. So that is the significance of mock interview. It's a kind of a preparatory session for the candidate. Next slide, ma'am. The previous slide, ma'am. Exit interview. Exit interview is whenever we plan to quit a job that there is another kind of interview, exit interview. They will be asking, they may ask what all things that we can do so that you will be working here with our organization itself, or what is your feedback about our organization. So that will help the organization as such to develop in some of the areas so that they can keep their employees with themselves. For that, actually, they carry this exit interview. They, actually, I have faced that. When I quit my first job, they called us. The manager will be calling us, and it is a one face-to-face kind of interview. They will be asking us, is it really mandatory for you to quit this job? Can we provide you leave? If it is capable, if it is okay for them to give a leave for some particular period of time, so they will give us that particular period. And if we are not okay with that, they will not definitely compel us to continue with the organization, but they will ask these questions. So they want the employees with them. They want to keep their employees with that organization itself, right? So they will be definitely asking these questions to keep those interview candidates, employers with them. And of course they will get a feedback. How was your experience while working with our organization? If they want to work on some areas, they will definitely work. So that is the significance of exit interview. Why are you looking for a new job, and what could have been done for you to remain employed here? So these are some of the different kinds of types of interviews. This is what I would like to share with you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. And if you have any doubts.
Thank you so much, Lekshmi ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. If anyone have any doubts, you can ask now to Lekshmi ma'am. Actually, it was a really nice class, Lekshmi ma'am. It was very clear. You explained with the PPT also. Very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So I think we can wind up. Thank you so much for Lekshmi ma'am for giving such an amazing class. So yeah, Vasila ma'am is also here.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. It was a nice session, and you have done a nice thing. It was well explained. Thank you so much, Lekshmi ma'am.
Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
Thank
you so much.
So I would like to welcome our Sangeeta ma'am to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you for calling me to present the vote of thanks. And first of all, I would like to thank Lekshmi ma'am for this wonderful session about the various different types of job interviews, and it was so informative, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank Marsala ma'am and Vasila ma'am for arranging this session, and also I would like to thank Hasi ma'am for the welcome speech, and also Remya ma'am for the presidential address. And I would like to thank each and everyone who attended this session. And I'm giving my heartily thanks to all. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. Yes, so we are winding up our Facebook Live. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us. Thank you.
Thank you.